Hey guys, we are factoring today. I hope you're excited about it. Now, you've probably been doing a lot of factoring. Today, we are going to look at a very specific type of factoring that is called either the sum or difference of two cubes. Our problem here is minus, so it's going to be the difference of two cubes. Now, I can use this when I notice that whatever I'm trying to factor is either the sum or difference of two perfect cubes. Now, if you're like, lady, I do not remember what a perfect cube is, I got you. We're going to do a really quick review. So you're probably pretty familiar with square roots. Like the square root of 16 is 4. And why is that? Because when I do a square root, it's asking me what number multiplied by itself will give me 16. So because 4 times 4 is 16, the square root of 16 is 4, right? Now, cubed root is really the same thing. We are just asking, you probably guessed it, what number multiplied by itself 3 times will give me the number that's over here? We put a little 3 to signify that. So for example, the square root of 125 would be 5. And that's because 5 times 5 times 5 times itself 3 times is 125. So as you can probably imagine, there are a lot of numbers that do not have a pretty cubed root. You're going to get an ugly, nasty decimal. So a perfect cube is when we get a nice integer for our answer, like 5 or 10 or 4, right? So that is what a perfect cube is. So when I know I'm going to be working with problems like this, I tend to like to write them out so that I just have these ones right here that I know are perfect cubes. Now, as you work with problems like this more, you will start to recognize these numbers just right off, but I like to have them written out just to help me. All right, now let's go ahead and look at a problem. All right, so let's put this information to use now. I can use this handy strategy if I have two terms being added or subtracted that are both perfect cubes. So let's see if that's what we have here. Now, first of all, I see a 125 and I want to know, is that a perfect cube? Well, guess what? I have my little list. You're welcome. So I notice right away that 5 cubed is 125. So my goal to be able to use this is to get it a term cubed minus a term cubed. So guess what? I can write 125 as 5 cubed. Now, guess what? V is already cubed, so that's nice. V cubed. Then I have W to the 9th. Well, that's not cubed, but maybe I can write it cubed. Now, if you need a quick exponent review, I will link one in the corner for you. But when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, don't panic. I know it's a little scary looking. But when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, we multiply the exponent. So this would be W to the 9th. Because if you think about it, this is really W to the 3rd times itself 3 times, right? And if I were to write out all these W's being multiplied, all right, I almost ran out of room. But if you count these, there's 9. So it would be W to the 9th. So I can rewrite W to the 9th as W to the 3rd to the 3rd. All right. Now, that looks a little scary. There's a lot of cubes happening, right? So I can actually rewrite this as 5V W to the 3rd to the 3rd. You see what I did there? Because if I were to multiply this out, multiply this by itself 3 times, I would get this. Okay, so see how I have a term cubed. Now, minus is 27 a perfect cube. Let's see. It's a YouTube video, so things worked out nicely, and it is. 3 cubed is 27. So I can write 27 as 3 cubed. So I've got a term cubed minus a term cubed. Guess what? I'm golden. I can use this. So in this case, my x is 5vw cubed. I'm going to write that over here. So x is 5vw cubed. All right. And y is just 3. All right. Y equals 3. So now I can plug this in. So here we go. We've got x minus y. So 5vw to the third minus y, which is 3. Okay, there's my first part. Then we've got x squared. So 5vw to the third squared. So let's think about what that would be for a second. 5vw to the third squared. Well, the squared needs to go to each little friend here. So 5 squared would give me 25. V squared is v squared. And w cubed squared, remember when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, we multiply them. So this would be w to the 6th. All right, that is my x squared. 25 v squared w to the 6th. Plus x times y. So 5 vw to the third times 3, which would just give me 15 vw to the third. All right. Then we've got plus y squared. So 3 squared is 9. That one wasn't too bad. All right, guess what? We are factored, friends. You can always multiply these back together to make sure you get that. Also, I didn't say at the beginning, but make sure you always see if you can pull out a greatest common factor before you do this as well. But this one didn't have one. All right, I hope this was helpful. Thanks.